What's up, everybody? This is Saint Hills. Welcome to Saudade Stories, where I share with you the stories behind the music.
Yes.
Best Friends. So, one of the songs I have worked on the longest for. It taught me a lot about songwriting, taught me a lot about music production. I collaborated with some people on it, and it means a lot to me. I'm really happy that this song is done and out, and it definitely shows one side of me. And I'm glad that I get to share it with the world right now. The most interesting thing to talk about when it comes to Best Friends is who it is about. Because I wrote the hook first about my father. Very specifically about my father. Because at that moment in time, we were truly best friends. He was my guy. You know, he was my idol. He was everything and everyone I aspired to be. He was one of the first people to really support me in my music journey and be like, you know, you can do this. Like, I believe in you. But that was up until the point where I knew I had to transition for my own good. I mean, you see me now. Obviously, I'm so comfortable in who I am. But back then, the people who loved me didn't know where I was going with this, you know? And I get it and I understand it, but we had very heartbreaking moments. And it changed my relationship with my dad a lot. Like, it was, I think, the relationship that was most affected by me embracing who I truly am. Which is something he always told me to be. He always told me to be myself. But, you know, you never really expect that your kid's gonna do this. So, I understand his position, you know what I mean? But we definitely went through a lot of hurt. And in that moment where I was writing that song, I was really sad because I felt like I had lost my best friend. I had lost my guidance. I had lost the person who I would call asking for advice, you know? And so that's how the song started. I was strumming my guitar, and that chord progression just instantly made me think of him and just how I missed him and I missed my relationship with him. And I was at my ex's house when I wrote those chords and when I wrote those lyrics and that melody. I was at my ex's house. I remember that day just knowing that I had to go home to finish the song because it was gonna be a good song. And I think she was so mad at me. I don't remember if it was like at me having to go home, but just in general, we were in a toxic relationship and we were fighting a lot. And I was thinking about how in my relationship with her at the time, I felt like how my dad felt in his relationship with me. Because he was trying to control me and tell me that I needed to change and that I needed to act a certain way. And I was telling her that same thing. You know, I was taking what my dad was doing to me and I was doing it to her. And a lot of it was because I didn't really understand the mental health issues she was going through at the time. I realized in that moment in writing that song that, like, you know, nobody's perfect and sometimes you just really want to help someone but you can't, you know, because you are incapable of understanding what that person is going through. And sometimes the best way to help is just to listen or just to open your mind. You know, I wrote that song, those lyrics 3 years ago, so I'm like far removed from those lyrics. But when I listen to it, I think about other people in my life. I think about other friends I've had that aren't here as close to me anymore. So it became a song that I think is just really representative of the changing nature in relationships. And I think when you live a life like I did, or like I do, where you move a lot and you've changed a lot, you know, at least externally, your relationships change a lot. The people who you want around your life and the people who they want around their life changes a lot. People change, your friendships change.
Is there anything else you want to say about the songwriting process, your influences, who and what you're writing about in this moment? I feel like you answered a lot of that, but
Yeah, no.
Sick.
That was it for today's episode. Stay tuned for the next Saudade story. That was good.
We used to be...
Like best friends, man.
Say that again?
Like best friends, man.
Same.